In Outrageous, audiences are introduced to the scandalous and politically contentious world of the Mitford sisters, 6 British upper-class women negotiating riches, society, expectations, and ideology prior to World War II. The Mitford family starts making expense reductions in 1931, when the series begins, amid the Great Depression. Even though their opulent way of life is in danger, the girls' main concerns are parties, romance, and maintaining their glitz. The oldest sister, Nancy Mitford, who is almost 29 years old and single, a spinster by the norms of the era, narrates the play. She establishes the tone right away by being witty and self-aware. Through the lives of her siblings, Deborah, Diana, Pamela, Unity, Jessica, and their brother Tom, Nancy leads us. Although each has a strong personality, Diana, Unity, and Jessica start to stand out due to their contradictory and dangerous political views. At home, Nancy presents the dynamic. Diana is already married to affluent aristocrat Brian Guinness, with whom she has 2 boys. Pamela is more reserved and homely. Deborah is the family's infant, while Unity and Jessica are still relatively young. Given that her father, David Mitford, is adamant about having the allowances of the older girls and renting out one of their houses, Nancy's unmarried status is a persistent worry. David is a patriarch and traditionalist who is tough but not callous. The home is governed by his authority, and nobody is permitted to arrive late for breakfast. One of the main plot points of episode 1 is Unity's introduction to civilization. She is forced to go to her debut ball, even though it is obvious that she has no desire to become a proper lady. The idea that women in the family are brought up for marriage, rather than education or independence, is echoed by this. The first of several instances that emphasize Diana's significant position in high society is when she volunteers to host the gathering. When Diana develops a fascination with Oswald Mosley, the dynamic head of the British Union of Fascists, politics starts to infiltrate the story. Despite being married, she is attracted to him right away. Despite her love affinity, Unity gets fixated by Mosley's philosophy, professing a shockingly fervent enthusiasm for the burgeoning Nazi Party in Germany and falling hard for British fascism. The most radical of the sisters, Jessica, simultaneously adopts communism and turns against Unity politically. The sisters' ideological conflict rapidly intensifies. Despite knowing that Mosley is married and notorious for womanizing, Diana decides to have a covert affair with him in 1933 since she is certain she no longer loves Brian. Even after learning that his wife was not really okay with the affair, she agrees to remain his covert mistress. Although their father rejects Diana after Mosley's wife passes away, the sisters continue to be devoted to her and pay her covert visits. People start to believe Mosley's wife died of heartbreak, which further demonizes Diana and deteriorates public opinion. Disgraced and recently divorced, Diana and Unity go to Germany to investigate her freedom and Unity's developing fascination with the fascist movement. Unity gets even more enamored with Nazi ideas when the two go to a rally in Nuremberg. Jessica remains steadfast in her communist convictions, while Unity promises to join the British Fascist Party upon his return. Nancy, on the other hand, is extremely dubious about fascism and thinks it threatens Britain's future. When Mosley returns to England, he reaffirms his feelings for Diana and compliments her on her insights from the German rally. Even though he had momentarily vanished with his late wife's sister, he now appears to emotionally claim Diana completely. Nancy experiences heartbreak on the other side of the family drama. Hamish, the man she has been dating for a long time, has yet to pop the question. Nancy tries to gently woo him on a friend's recommendation, but it backfires when Hamish declares he's heading to America. Nancy's expectations are dashed when he returns engaged to someone else. Nancy soon meets Peter, a charming man who promptly pops the question. Despite his initial attractiveness, Peter's actions arouse suspicions. He despises his job, wants Nancy to provide for him financially, and questions her virginity while acknowledging that he had proposed to her 3 times in a single week. Nancy goes forward with the wedding in spite of the warning signs. She stands upright, obviously preparing for whatever comes next, even though her father disapproved. With Diana strengthening her bonds with Mosley and the fascist cause, and Nancy entering a problematic marriage, Episode 2 closes on a sinister note. Now more than simply a wealthy family with eccentricities, the Mitfords are quickly emerging as symbols of a divided Britain, with some leaning toward fascism and others toward communism, all caught up in the chaos of a world on the verge of war.